If we take our working file access columns, which is our access extract information neatly provided and laid out in 3 columns, then we can explore how we can insert column breaks. Now we know we can insert page breaks by doing Control and Enter and forcing the text from that point on to start a new page. So in our document here, if we wanted what are relational databases to start the next page, we'd simply hold down Control and Enter, and what are relational databases would start on the next page, retaining 3-column layout. Content we left behind would also still be in 3 columns, but it strips the first items down their first column. The second and third column remain empty because we've pushed all that information onto the second page. Let's do backspace delete at that point there to delete our page break and bring us back to 3 columns on the same page. That wasn't the effect I was after. What I want is what are relational databases to start at the top of the next column. So here. In order to do that, I need to insert a column break. Now to insert a column break, I need to go to the page layout ribbon. There's a whole little breaks option here with a drop down arrow, and we can see that column break is one of the choices, as well as page break and a whole raft of section breaks. But it's the column break I want, so I insert column here. And what you'll see is that Word has decided, because of the length of the page and the amount of text, that although I've put a column break in here, which means what our relational databases will always start at the top of the next available column, it's moved the other content into column 1, and effectively column 3 is now empty. So if I were to fill this column with a bit more text, so let's take that whole raft of text there and just copy and paste, and paste again. There you will see that as soon as this column is full and it runs into column 2, our what are relational databases is then forced to run to the top of the next column. So the column break is working because it's pushing what are relational databases to always be at the top of a column. And if I happen to place enough text in this column 2 to push itself into column 3, then as soon as the text from 2 enters into 3, our column break is forcing what are relational databases to move into the top of the next column, which now moves us into page 2. And you'll see that it then spreads the text out on page 2 across our 3 columns. So that's using a column break when you wish text to start at the top of the next available column. So that's not a page break, it's a column break, and they're accessed from the page layout ribbon, breaks, column break. Should you wish to delete the column break, because it's one of those hidden paragraph items that you cannot see, although if you activate the paragraph settings you can. You can see there's our column break. We can go to the column break and just delete, and the text is then brought back to that point in the flow rather than being forced to be the start of the next column.